Hello there, or Tere Sayal if you're Estonian, because we're going to be having a look at my SH72420 172 Special Hobby Potez 25A2 Jupiter version today as what's in the box kit review number 286. And as we can see, it comes marked up with decals for the Estonian Air Force, the Finnish Air Force and the Yugoslavian Air Force. Now, I'll be quite honest with you, obviously we have our wall of flags here in front of us, which Big Brother YouTube happily does provide access to information as to where you guys, the viewers, come from. And I have a Latvian viewer and I've had some Lithuanian viewers, but I don't appear to have anybody from Estonia yet. So I kind of want to put an Estonian flag on the wall. So I decided to pick this one out to have a look at today. So we're going to follow the normal format. We're going to have a look at the parts. We'll have a look at the instructions, read the blurb out. We'll have a look at the decals, which look quite nice. And we'll have a general chit-chat along the way, I suppose. And maybe learn a little bit more Estonian. So we'll start off with this little sprue, which obviously is our fuselage. It's not exactly the biggest aircraft. Obviously, it's a biplane. We have two sections here, which are the port and starboard side of the fuselage. And as we can see, we have the pilot's space here, and we have a space for our rear-facing gunner. We have the floor. This is the underside, which goes on the bottom here for the fuselage, which has a few access panels. Appears to come with a couple of little windows possibly as well. Not too sure what that part is, but we'll find out in the instructions. We have parts of the cowling here for the engine by the look of it. 3 sections there. This kit does actually have access to a few other versions as well, so not all parts are actually included or required even. We have the upper surface of the wing. Now I'm going to be hazarding a guess at this. I'm not too sure whether it's a fabric covered wing or whether it's a metal covered wing. It would appear to be a fabric, but correct me if I'm wrong. We have this rather long, fancy looking tail. That's going to be the upper wing, obviously. And then we have the lower surfaces here of the lower wing. Oh, it's upper and lower. So there we go, we get both sides, so with no sticking together. That's quite nice. We've got some detail here. We have the ailerons fixed in place. A couple of tyres for our wheels. And these are going to be our wheels here. Some kind of fine detail on the wheel. I can't quite get that in focus, but I can see it. I'm sorry if you can't. And then we have the other part of the tail section there. Again, no fixing together required, it's one piece, so that's a bonus in my book. Up next we have the engines, and looks like we have the option of skis here as well. I'm guessing this is going to be for the Finnish version. That's certainly what they look like. We have some radiators. These could be bomb racks here because there are some bombs to go on the undersurface of the wings. Not too sure what these parts are. There's a couple of little bomblets here, little bombs. That's going to be part of our undercarriage struts. That's part of the engine. Probably wing struts, I would have thought. There's our main engine there, which, as we can see, sticks out from probably this section here. Going to be parts of the gun mounting. Nearly lost one. We'll have to keep that one safe. These are going to be struts for the tail surfaces. We have a cockpit control column there. Sorry, control panel there. There's another, that's going to be the ring for the rear gunner. Moving on here, we have some drop fuel tanks. A couple more struts. What are they going to be? Too sure what they are. This is going to be the engine sort of compartment for one of the other variants. Not too sure what that is. We have a selection of smaller parts here. This is going to be the engine mounting for our version, I'm thinking. It's similar in shape here. And there's our two-bladed propeller. Now, the history of this particular kit is kind of interesting because it's kind of unlike any special hobby that I've seen. It actually originated from an as from tooling in 2019. I've not seen that before on any of my special hobby kits. Special Hobby got hold of the tooling in 2020 and produced a purely French version with Free French, Standard French and Vichy France decals. Then in 2021 there was a Polish variant that came to light, which I also have. And in 2023 we had this version turn up with our Finnish, Estonian and Yugoslavian markings. To give you an idea of how many of these went to each country, Estonia actually had 25 of these aircraft on the books when they were taken over by the Soviets. Finland apparently only purchased one, okay, and Yugoslavia produced this license built in Yugoslavia, and they had roughly 200 of them. So we'll have a read of the blurb next, because I'm sure a lot of you maybe aren't particularly aware of this aircraft. No, I certainly wasn't until I picked a couple of these up. The Potez 25 was one of the new mass-produced aircraft types which in the post-World War I area were beginning to replace wartime surplus airframes. In 1923, the French military called for a two-seat aircraft capable of reconnaissance A2 role, as well as bombing missions B2 role. The Potez 25 design became the winner of the competition, and eventually the interest among operators in the type was so great that it remained in production from 1925 until 1934. The Potez 25 was based on previous designs, the Potez 15 and 24, which had not reached production but had seen the introduction of some new technical ideas within their structure, later to be used in the Potez 25. Possibly the most important in the design was that the engine bearer struts were attached to the fuselage by means of just 4 bolts, which in fact allowed not just for a very rapid removal of the power unit in case of need, but also brought the possibility of coupling the airframe with almost any type of engine that provided sufficient power. This feature of the Potez 25 may very well be the true reason why so huge a number of the various versions emerged, reportedly up to 87 differing by engine used. Most of them did not reach production and remained just prototypes, with just a few of them entering production and service in the end. The Potez 25 was a biplane with its lower wings significantly smaller. The airframe was of mixed construction. It was not just built in France but also under license in Poland, Yugoslavia, Portugal and Romania. The French military operated the A2-B2 versions, which are fitted with a Lorraine power plant, and the Farman engine Potez 25.8 version was designed for training purposes. The major production version was, however, the Potez 25 TOE, which had been designed for service in overseas colonies and featured a deeper belly and extra fuel tanks, providing far greater range. A total of 795 were produced, fitted with the Lorraine engine. They mostly flew in Africa, Syria and French Indochina, but also saw service with Aéronaval or French naval aviation. The type remained in active service even during the Second World War, and because of the defeats of France, the type saw service with both sides of the conflict, eventually bearing colours of both Vichy military and the Free French. With the latter, and in the French Indochina as well, the 25 TOEs flew in a training role until 1945. Okay, so instructions. Yes, we've got some of that as well. So we've got the basic sprues up here, and as we can see there are red crosses all over the place denoting which parts are required and which parts aren't for the various versions that are available. So we've got quite a few parts that are not required to put in the spares box. We also get a photo etch frame as well, and some printed parts which I forgot to mention, which are here. Not too sure what they are. There are glazed parts. Oh, I forgot to show you the decals. There we go. So we have the Finnish ones, which we have to apply the central cross ourselves, the Estonian and the Yugoslavian, with a whole bunch of numbers and a variety of other lettering stencils as well. So instruction wise, we've got lots and lots of little steps to go here. Step 1. So step 1 to 4, we're all looking at the internals of our cockpit and how to actually finally put it in place in step 8. They're quite comprehensive, these, obviously. And then we're going to be putting our fuselage together in step 11 and step 12. Step 14, we're going to be putting the undersurface of the fuselage on. Step 15 is putting the engine mounting together. And then we're looking at the wings, and then we can see here there's some filling required for some unrequired holes. Looks like we've got a little bit of a drill to do here as well for something. So that's our underwings going on, underneath wings. And then we have a machine gun to put in the rear by the look of it. And we're putting our upper wings on with their struts. Put our wheels together. Got some more drilling to do here. Putting the tail surface together with its struts on the upper tail surface. And we have our undercarriage to go on, which is obviously fixed. A bunch of photo etch to go on here, which are to do with the aileron control surfaces. We've got detail here for how to rig the aircraft, because obviously biplanes require rigging. Boo! So there's all the rigging in place. Looks pretty complicated. You don't have to do the rigging, obviously. Step 39, we're going to attach some bombs and bomb racks. Step 4, we've got the rear machine gunner's position to do. I thought we'd done that before. Oh, there's a forward fire machine gun for the pilot, that's what it is. And then we're going to put some skis on, if required, for, I'm guessing, the finished version. So there's our Estonian version there. Green all over. So this is aircraft number 100, 2nd Division Estonian Aviation Regiment, TAR 2, 1930. Okay. Then we have this finished version for 1928. It was acquired in 1927. And doesn't appear to have been used after 1936. So we come with this into a Finnish Air Force fighting the Russians. But it's quite nice, and as we can see, that's where our ski version comes into play. And here we have the Royal Yugoslavian Air Force 1933. Some nice white stripes on it. We have a little advert for a few other interesting aircraft available from Special Hobby. Continue on the back with a Vickers Wildebeest. Chinese, Siamese and Turkish service for the B10. I've got one of those. Right, okay, so that's our little thing complete. So hopefully we'll get ourselves some views from Estonia. I'm going to put a nice big Estonian flag on this. So all that's left for me to say is Nami Varsi, which is see you soon in Estonian, and finish off with what I normally say, which is be seeing you. And please do remember to check out the rest of the 172 aircraft kit reviews that are currently languishing on the channel somewhere. Thanks for watching.